Today's Monday night, and I just got done with first day of orientation at Melton Truck Lines in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So this video is going to be basically my flight and day one. And what I'll do is come back and do like day 2 and day 3 in the next video, day 45, and so forth and so on. So the first half of this video it's not going to be about Melton at all. It's going to be about my flight. So I take a plane I've never flown before. Wasn't sure how that was going to work out. I got a glare on the thing. Let me move here a little bit. Let me move my camera if I can do it without messing it up. Don't mess up. That'll work, I guess. No, I gotta glare the other way. Yeah, whatever. That'll work. So I've never flown before. Like I said, I was a little anxious about it. But once I got on the plane and everything, it wasn't that bad. Took off from Ronald Reagan Airport in DC, and they sent me to Dallas Fort Worth Airport in Dallas, Texas. I'm not sure why they did that, because you kind of went past Tulsa, then had to come back to get to Tulsa, whatever. Anyways, it doesn't matter. That's how we went. So my flight time was, or takeoff time was 1:15. I started leaving at 12:45. Left my house at 8:30 in the morning to be down there around 10:30. Parked the car at 10:30. Went into the airport, did all the stuff, checked in. Had to go through the TSA security check, all that stuff, and plenty of time. I was sitting in front of the gate ready to go before 12. I had an hour and 15 minutes before I got loaded. The thing that had me concerned was when I got to Dallas, I had my landing time was 3:55. My next plane took off at 4:30. I didn't get off the plane until actually it was like 4:05, I think, and I was walking up. So, and from what I could see, they said they quit loading 15 minutes before takeoff, which means at 4:15 they quit loading. It just happened to work out to where I basically unloaded and loaded in the gate right beside it. So they were both A29. My plane landed, I came out of A29, went about 20 feet. It might have been more than that. It might have been like 50. Wasn't very far. Walked down to the next gate, which, like I said, wasn't very far, and loaded back on. And then the plane was delayed till 5, so I had plenty of time. I was on a plane at, I think I was on a plane before 4:15, and we didn't actually take off till like 5 o'clock to Tulsa, which was a 40-minute drive. Drive. I'm not used to the flying stuff. It was a 40-minute flight from Dallas, Fort Worth to Tulsa, and we was in Tulsa at before 6. I think we landed at like, it was dark, so it had to be after 6, but it was dark whenever I got out of the airport. We'll put that, it was daylight when we landed. Till we got everything out, till I got my bags and everything, it was actually after 6. But that was it. Flying wasn't that bad. I think I thought it was going to be a lot worse. It's a loud flight. At least it was on that plane. I did not think it was going to be that loud. I could have used some earplugs. Other than that, sometimes it got really bumpy. Like you're flying through the air and it actually felt like you ran over a pothole. Like you're flying and the whole plane does like that, and it feels like you're running over a pothole. That's what it felt like to me anyways. Other than that, it was pretty smooth. Takeoff and landing's the roughest. Other than that, it wasn't bad. I'd do it again if I had to. I probably will, actually. But yeah, so that was my flight, DC to Dallas Fort Worth to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Got here, like I said, 5:30, 6 o'clock. It was daylight when we landed. I think we landed around 5:30, something like that. And we were here at the hotel by 7 o'clock. So that was the flight. Short little thing on that. Now we're going to talk about orientation. First day orientation at Melton is just filling out a lot of paperwork. That's the extent of what it is. Get in the morning. I got it here. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'll tell you exactly what we went over. We did the roll call, then we did a comprehension test. It's basically, they give you a paper with load information about a load you're supposed to pick up, and they ask you a bunch of questions, like for instance, how many chains are you going to put on this 40,000 pound coil? And it says in the instructions, no chain, strap only. A lot of people put down 6 chains, 8 chains, whatever, and it's 0 chains because it calls for no chains, stuff like that. Not really trick questions, but kind of trick questions. But it's in, you got to read it, find. They want to know the load number, how many miles, stuff like that, to see if you can read and comprehend what your load is supposed to be, so you can load it right. It was that. Then we did a bunch of, like I said, a bunch of online stuff, or not online stuff, paperwork. Did ID pics, got your picture taken, just stuff like that. Just a bunch of paperwork, kind of boring. That was before lunch. Did the clearinghouse, driver post. I got some driver post stuff to do tonight and stuff like that. That was before lunch. Had lunch, and after lunch we went over to Smith system, crash awareness or crash prevention, and then basically paper logs. They want us to know how to do paper logs in case the e-log goes down. I haven't done paper logs in 2010 was the last time I did a paper log, so it was definitely a refresher course. I'd forgot a bunch of stuff because I hadn't done it in 15 years, 13 years, something like that. We're in 2023. 13 years since I did a paper log, so it took me a minute to start picking up everything that I'd forgot about that. But I mean, the actual log itself wasn't. It was the recap is what had me, just getting the recap figured back out. It isn't hard at all. I did paper logs. That's all I ever did before. I think the e-log for me is probably going to be the toughest part. So that was day one at Melton. Pretty, say, boring, but you just fill out a bunch of paperwork. Watched a couple videos. Actually, yeah, we watched a couple videos. 3 or 4 videos during the crash awareness when we watched little short 10-15 second clips of crashes and stuff like that. And that was about it. I did walk out into the yard and look at some of the loads we got to strap. We'll be strapping them on Wednesday and Thursday, and then all next week we're doing that. So that's day one orientation. Pretty standard, I think, for the most part at probably most companies. That's the way it was at pretty much all the companies I've been through. Just a bunch of paperwork on Monday, and then tomorrow we're going to do physicals in the morning. That's going to take till lunchtime. Physicals and what was the other thing? Like an agility test, I guess. Like where you got to stand on your one foot for 30 seconds, the other foot for 30 seconds. I'm sure they got a bunch of other stuff. They're going to where you got to step up on a step for so long and they take your heart rate, stuff like that. I don't think that's agility, but that's before lunch. And then after lunch, we're going to start getting into load securement. I don't think we're going to actually secure loads, but we'll get into that. But that'll be the next video. Like I said, I'll do this one on day one, then we'll come back in a day or two and go over day 2 and 3, and then in a couple days 3 and 4, stuff like that, and then they'll be uploaded in that order. So not too bad today. Did a lot of sitting in the classroom, and we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. That's about it. Day one at orientation and a plane flight. So stay tuned. Like I said, if you got any questions, put them in the comment section. I'll be doing a video at the end of the whole orientation and the training. Once I get the road training done, get in my own truck, I'll go back through and I'll do a video on answering any and all questions that anybody has about orientation or training or anything. Obviously I'm new, so I ain't gonna know everything, but if it has anything to do with that, I should have a pretty good idea considering I just went through it. So put your questions down below and we'll answer them at some point. But that's it. This video is 9 minutes long. It's about 7 minutes longer than it probably needed to be. But it is what it is. There we go. Melton Truck Lines, orientation day 1. We're getting ready for day 2 tomorrow. See you in a couple days.